What's good, Black Star Podcast? Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Jared. Y'all, today we're going to be looking at a video from Anton Daniels. Now, I'm going to just say this right quick. There's a lot of short bus people that's been on TikTok the last couple of days. I want you to hear this shit. I'm going to let this play. As you can read, after this election, I'm going to leave the United States and I'm going to go to Hawaii. Yeah, let me let it play.
Okay, so since Trump won the election, we're cooked. Yup. I'm going to be leaving the US and I'm going to be moving to Hawaii. So we'll see how it goes and I'll update you guys.
What's going on is Anton.
Before Anton talks about this shit, I just got a question. And this is a very serious question. So excuse me for what I'm about to ask. Isn't Hawaii a part of the United States of America? Isn't Hawaii one of the 50 states? Along with Alaska. Isn't that a part of the United States? So in turn, if you're saying that you're going to leave the United States, that would mean that Hawaii will be included, you stupid. You can tell he one of the little zesty boys. Look at him. Like, bruh, you are dumb. Jesus. If you decide to leave, sir, you would not be missed. I'm sorry to tell you that. You will not be missed because A, you slow, and B, apparently you don't know your states.
So we'll see how it goes and I'll update you guys.
What's going on is Anton from AntonDaniels.com. I appreciate you guys for continuing to rock with us. Not the sharpest knife in the tool shed, but there's people obviously that don't even realize that Hawaii is a part of the United States. Neither here nor there, but the fallout continues. I want to have a conversation about moving abroad, right? And I've traveled the continental U.S. and I've also traveled abroad to several different countries, including Tokyo, Frankfurt, Amsterdam, obviously Mexico and Canada, because Canada is literally right across the street from Detroit. Bucharest, Romania? Yeah, Bucharest, Romania. Just got back from Bucharest. So I've been to a few places, right? And I'm not saying that I'm the world traveler, but I have studied different cultures and I do understand exactly what it means and what it takes in order to live across the pond or overseas, right? And the conversation from a lot of people is now centered around, oh my God, I want to move. Listen, 99% of y'all ain't doing nothing anyway. You ain't even got a passport. Some of y'all don't even qualify for a passport. You know what I'm saying? You got to make sure that that ankle monitor stays on your foot. But there is a misconception of what it takes. And I think that a lot of people that visit most of these countries, they visit the tourist areas. That's not you. You know what I'm saying? You're going to be living in the regular areas with everybody else. And so it's a little bit different. As a matter of fact, let me show you this video really quickly of somebody that actually speaks on his experience because there's good and bad.
Living abroad ain't a flex. Let me tell you why. First, me and many of the other expats that live here are here for one reason and one reason only. We have smaller salaries and our money goes a lot longer here. If I could pay $2,000-$3,000 in rent comfortably in the United States, I probably would still be there. The thing that makes the United States, and what makes it nice is it's polished. This place is very unpolished. It's a little janky sometimes, but the simplicity will humble you. I'm from Atlanta. Everything in Atlanta got crystals and rhinestones on it, and being here, you just get humbled daily. And from the transportation, like I'm on a bike. I want to be driving a Cybertruck or a Porsche right now. A nice apartment, and my apartment is $1,000 a month, which is a steal. I have a 2-bedroom, 2-bath, but it's not overly glamorous. Things here aren't designed for luxury. They're not even designed for function. It's just designed to check off a list. Like, you might have 2 bathrooms. Your water pressure might not be high. You might have a toilet in the shower, not really functional, but you have one, right? Also, getting used to constantly being uncomfortable, not in a life-threatening type of way, but in a way where you just know that you're not at home. Like, I went to the United States this past week, and I miss not being misunderstood. I miss not being misunderstood. The language barrier sometimes be kicking my ass. As hard as I try, like, I beat myself up about that all the time. This is one of my favorite ends of the street. I used to live over here, but you just go into the shaded area where all these restaurants. So if you're ever in Playa, this is on 38th. This is the end of 38th, going towards the ocean. This is my morning route. I go sit on the beach, have my coffee, reflect. All these are restaurants over in these bushes. You see this? Also for me, like, Latin America has this thing, I don't want to call it poverty, but it's just very basic, and it's the standard across everything. Like, only things that they have like that are really upscale is for visitors and for tourists. It's not for like the locals, and I think that's kind of sad. But like, what I'm realizing is just culturally they're used to not having a lot, and they comfortable with it. So everything is very just basic. I call it mid, like mid food, mid living conditions, just mid. It's just very mid. Nothing against the people. Like, I guess it gives you like this air of humility that you don't get in the States, where everything is extremely gaudy, hotty, big, sparkly, shiny, and overpriced. Some of us live abroad for the experience. For me, it's a mixture of the experience and the pricing. Like, I was closing my business or taking a break from my business, and I needed to live somewhere where I could live affordably and comfortably. So this is the thing, but you definitely have to make some sacrifices. Like, it's not as glamorous as it seems. Okay, so I finally made it to the ocean. So the next thing is, you do get very lonely here. Granted, there are a lot of other people like me who are here, right? I think everybody came here because they were just mentally exhausted at some point in time. So it's connected but very disconnected, or maybe it's just me, but a couple of friends that I have talked to here have just discussed how hard it is to build like community around things that you're actually into, or what you have going on, besides the fact that you are black and abroad. Like, we all have that in common, but outside of that, sometimes there aren't a lot of common intersectors. So that has been something for me. Like, I get lonely. I'm good with being by myself for periods of time, but it does get lonely sometimes. And I think it's a mixture of the being lonely and the mid things to do. Like, outside of restaurants, beach, rooftops, pools, there's not tons of stuff to do here. I would say a lot of people who come here come with their partners or their kids. So if you got your kids and your man or your girl, it's a little different. But for us single people, we just be out here trying to link with each other and just figure it out. Look at the ocean, y'all. It's beautiful this morning. This is definitely a plus. It's officially fall. There's no seaweed in the water. Another thing that is difficult for me is living out of a suitcase. So coming here can get costly when you have more things, and if you are the type of person who plans on moving around or bouncing around from country to country, you don't want to have too much stuff. So accumulating stuff is an issue if you are the type that likes to shop, which I am, or if you're the type that likes to get dressed, which I am. You don't really get dressed here often, one, because it's so hot, but two, it's really not tons of places to be dressed to the nines for. But you have to keep your load light, so that means no accumulating unnecessary things. So you really have it in the back of your head to not to leave here with more stuff than you came with. And also for me, I'm a big person, I'm a big guy. So shopping just ain't it here. Like, the largest size shoe they have here is like an 11. And in clothes, you might get a large, extra large, but you definitely not getting anything with no length on it at all. And it's not the same. So brands, I don't know what they send these people here, but you're not getting that top tier Zara or H&M stuff, and those are the top tier, stores that you can find here. That's why I mentioned them. But like, you're not getting everything that you're getting in the States. I feel.
Okay, that went on long enough, but everything that brother actually said is true. And here's why I say that. A lot of people that's complaining about the things that's going on in the United States, I understand. But what ain't being really talked about is the fact that when you go overseas, you're not getting the same level of pampering as we're used to in the United States. Outside the United States, like you said, is not polished. Or the way I would put it, it's a reality check. You get humbled and you get checked because a lot of shit that we see over here, all the safety nets that we have over here, is you don't have that overseas. You gotta actually know how to move overseas in other countries. And the thing is like a lot of people think just because I live in the United States that it's gonna be easy overseas. It's not. You thinking that you can go overseas and just get a job just because you're an American. You gonna get a very big humbling reality check, and a lot of people aren't used to it. Sure, you'll be able to get a job, but you ain't gonna be able to afford the lifestyle that you have here as you would over there. The amount of money that we make over here, even with inflation, the amount of money that we make over here is a lot more than what they make overseas a year. Say for instance, like the Philippines, they make roughly $10,000 to $15,000 a year, if that. Here we make $40,000 to $45,000 a year. We make double what they make. That's the reason why our dollar goes a lot further over there, because we make triple what they make, and also the exchange rate. So what we have to start doing as Americans, yes, you may not like the outcome of the election, but that still doesn't negate the fact that a lot of the shit y'all complaining about is a lot of first world problems. Meanwhile, people overseas are struggling to even find food half sometimes. So I feel that it's really disingenuous and then kind of selfish and pathetic that a lot of people are complaining about Trump winning the election and talk about they want to go overseas. Meanwhile, they don't have these people don't even know how to even move overseas. They'll literally be over there with chains and shit, hanging down and living fancy and shit, and they get jacked quick, as we've seen with a lot of people getting robbed overseas. But who knows? Maybe I'm speaking out of the crack of my ass. I don't know. But anyways, I'll catch you guys on the flip side. Thank you guys for listening, and I'll see you guys later. Bye, guys.